Welcome to The Explainer. Sometimes you hear a story that just stops you in your tracks. Today, we're diving into one of those. It's an incredible testimony about finding purpose and freedom in, well, the most extreme circumstances you can imagine. This is the story of Dan Baumann. So let's just jump right in. We're starting here with this just incredibly stark statement. This isn't a hypothetical. This was Dan's actual reality while he was imprisoned in Iran. It's the kind of situation that would absolutely break most people, right? A place where hope, well, it just seems impossible. And that's really the question at the very heart of his story. What on earth could get someone through that? To even begin to understand the answer, we've actually got to go back, way back, long before he ever set foot inside a prison cell. Okay, so let's set the scene. Before we go back, you need to understand the setting, because for 9 whole weeks, this tiny cell in Iran, this was his entire world. Just try to picture this for a second. We're talking complete, total isolation. It's just you, 4 walls, and your own thoughts. Nothing else. The mental pressure, the physical pressure, it's gotta be immense. This is the crucible, the ultimate test for everything he believed. All right, so to really get how he survived that, now we're going to flash back. We're going back to his teenage years, to this one single moment, this revelation that would literally become his anchor for the rest of his life. See, for Dan back then, at 16, faith was basically about performance. It was a checklist, right? A list of things you had to do and a whole lot of things you had to avoid. It was all very intellectual, all in his head, but it hadn't really made that journey down to his heart. And then he hears this one sentence, and it just changes everything. Intimacy, friendship with God, he just couldn't wrap his head around it. And it's this idea that sends him down to a riverbank, just trying to process what on earth that could possibly mean. So there he is, just skipping stones, totally lost in thought, and this question just pops into his head. His first reaction is, no way. Why would God, this huge universe-creating being, care about something so small, so simple, so human, like throwing rocks into a river? And this was the breakthrough, the big aha moment. It suddenly clicked that it wasn't about performance. It wasn't about doing big, important things for God. It was about a God who just wanted to be with him, who actually enjoyed the things he enjoyed. And for the very first time, he realized, wow, God doesn't just love me, God actually likes me. And this chart really shows that shift perfectly. On one side, you have religion as rules. It's all about what must I do. It's based on performance, on earning approval. But on the other side, you have relationship as friendship. The question becomes, who can I be with? It's based on presence, on just enjoying being liked. His whole worldview just flipped. So with this completely new foundation, relationship, not rules, it allowed him and his whole family to take these incredible risks. And they were all guided by this one core principle of trust. He called it the 51% principle. And the idea is pretty simple. If you wait for 100% certainty before you do anything, you'll never do anything. You'll be paralyzed. So for him, the journey of faith wasn't about having all the answers. Nope. It was about having 100% trust in the character of the one leading you, even if you only have, say, 51% clarity on what the next step is. And that number, 51%, it became this powerful guiding principle for them. His sister is a perfect example. She lived this out. When she was just 20, she gets this feeling that she should go to Nepal. So what does she do? She buys a one-way ticket to a country where her organization had literally zero presence. Talk about a leap of faith. And that one single 51% step, it eventually led to 27 mission bases and more than 300 new churches. Just wow. And this quote given to his sister, it just sums up the whole philosophy perfectly. If God tells you to go, that is enough. See? It's not about having the whole roadmap laid out in front of you. It's just about trusting the guide for the very next turn. And this was the exact mindset Dan carried with him into his own journey. Which brings us right back to where we started. Back to that tiny, lonely cell in Iran. Because here, staring death in the face, this entire belief system, the one built on relationship and 51% trust, it's about to face its most extreme test yet. And you have to understand, this wasn't just a one-time thing. This was a daily ritual.
every single day, physical and psychological torment, all delivered by the exact same man, his interrogator.
So he's at his absolute lowest point. I mean, he's literally being beaten. And in that moment, this is the message he feels in his heart. I want to teach you how to love your enemy. I mean, how is that even possible? It sounds completely superhuman, right? And this is how he did it. This was his internal process. He absolutely knew he couldn't just muster up that kind of love on his own. It wasn't in him. So the first step was to ask for a new perspective. He literally prayed, God, let me see this man the way you see him. And as he started to receive God's love for his tormentor, his own heart, his own feelings, they actually started to change. So this all leads to their very last encounter. After weeks of this torture, Dan looks his tormentor right in the eye. He extends his hand and he says, let's be friends. And the guard, his name was Rita, he just breaks down. He takes Dan's hand, he's crying, and he says, I would like to be your friend. And just like that, in that one moment, the roles of prisoner and guard they dissolved. It was this incredible, impossible moment of human connection, born out of a love that Dan knew wasn't his own. So, we're moving into the final part of the story. After 9 weeks, exactly the time he felt he was told it would be, Dan was suddenly, unexpectedly released. He was physically free, of course, but the truth is, he had already found a much deeper kind of freedom right there inside that prison cell. And this really is the ultimate summary of his whole journey. It's the difference between working for approval and working from approval. See, one is a life of striving and fear, motivated by what I must do. The other is a life of freedom and love, motivated by who I am loved by. He moved from that first column to the second. And that really became his life's message, his purpose. It's so simple but so profound, to let people know that their Creator likes them. Everything he went through, the prison, the beatings, the death sentences, all of it just hammered home that simple, powerful idea he first discovered as a 16-year-old boy throwing stones in a river. And that's really the final thought this story leaves us with, isn't it? I mean, we live in a world that is completely obsessed with doing more, achieving more, being more. But what if the most powerful, the most life-changing discovery we could ever make is simply realizing that the one who made you actually and truly likes you?